For the assignment, Psychology and Media, we are Group 6, and we chose the highly successful entrepreneur, Mark Cuban. He is owner of the Dallas Mavericks, owner of several different companies, and you can also find him on Shark Tank. This is created by Raylan McDonald, Anthony Munger, Minnie Colon, Fernando Felix, Chance McKeska, and Jamie Crippins.
His magic touch has revived a failing franchise.
When he came on board and really showed his enthusiasm, the whole city just jumped behind us.
Dallas was nothing to brag about, and now we're the talk of the town.
His motivation has always been simple: the almighty dollar.
You know, he was always, even as a kid, the man with the plan.
The plan was just to try to make as much money as I can.
Growing up, he was the chubby kid with the fat wallet.
Let's just say dads weren't worried when they saw me with their daughters.
Chasing cash, he bent the rules and got busted.
And not only is she only 16 on probation, but she's on probation for prostitution.
He developed an unparalleled work ethic.
I said, man, aren't you on your honeymoon? He's like, yeah, Greece is great. Did you get that deal done that we were talking about the other day?
But never lost his need to play.
You're never gonna be able to her. I beat the shit out of him.
Digging deep, the kid from Steel City struck gold.
It was the biggest IPO in the history of the stock market.
I think that was the day that you know your life's changed forever.
And the brash billionaire did what every sports fan dreams of.
Dreams can come true.
He's just a guy living on his fantasy.
I think sometimes he's rocked the boat constructively, and other times he's just rocked it for the sake of rocking it.
How much they paid you?
I do think that he is the great American success story.
This is Mark Cuban.
You did not make that call.
Beyond the glory.
Take me out to the ball game.
Mark Cuban is currently the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. With a net worth of $2.3 billion, he started out working as a bartender in Dallas, Texas. And then after being fired from a salesman job, he decided to start his own company, Micro Solutions, which he later then sold for $6 million. He is now mostly known for his ownership over the Mavericks basketball team. After being the owner for 10 years, he then went up from 40% winning percentage to 69%, which led them to the first NBA championship. However, Mark has faced many problems in the NBA, being fined on 13 separate occasions for a total of $1,665,000, all from comments about NBA policies and referee calls. More recently, he can be found on the TV show Shark Tank, which typically airs on Friday nights. He is on the show as an investor for upcoming companies.
When was the last time you held a check for $500,000?
I have never held a check for $500,000.
What would that do to your life?
This is an outrage. A form of financial pornography.
Don't fall for this dirty trick. He's done it before.
I'm going to give you $50,000, $100,000, $300,000, $500,000.
You just bumped your offer up? You went up?
Yes, I just did. Wow. You have to say yes right now.
We're not asking for your money for a handout.
You want to sell something or do you not?
Is that the only offer on the table?
You're talking yourself out of a sale.
If I walk, you lose the TV, and the TV isn't easy for Mark.
Actually, I own 2 TV networks.
We'd love to work with you.
I know you would, and I would too.
Oh, God.
I'll give you $100,000 for 80%.
Wait. You are so far from desperate, you should just be laughing at that.
I have $400,000. I've just put it on this table.
Kevin, if you even try to make money from this, I will beat the living crap out of you.
Shark fight. Shark fight. I'm going to beat this jerk's offer.
Barbara, I love you, but this isn't your wheelhouse.
Hang on a sec. I'll give you $1 million for 75% of it if you can get Damon involved.
Here's what I'll do. I'll go halves with you, but no Robert.
I hate being screwed on these deals.
It's nothing personal, Robert.
No, it is personal, Cuban.
Okay, it is, but I don't care.
You know, Mark, I like you. You're a real
Shark Tank.
When making ethical decisions, Mark is stuck in stage 1. Step 2, according to Kohlberg. When Cuban decides right from wrong, he does whatever is in his best interest, and he is looking for individualism versus fair exchange or fair dare for society. For example, he has stood up several times to the NBA and has gotten fined 13 different times. Mark even started a booing campaign to go against a former Mavericks player who went to play for the Spurs. And in 2009, he referred to Denver Nuggets as thugs. This goes to show that when Mark wants to speak about something, he really says what is on his mind and is not afraid to do it. He wants referees, fans, and teams to act a certain way in his world. Even though he has gotten in trouble a lot, he is not just a random babbling idiot. He does know what he wants and doesn't mind stepping over boundaries to make his voice and opinion be heard. Also, he is a very successful man in the sports and business world.
Mark Cuban's disc type is a very high I, which stands for influencer, complemented by D, which is developer, showing that he is a very high energy animated, a loud person with very strong leadership skills, which also allow him to take control and get the job done. He stands up for what he believes in and isn't afraid to speak his mind, no matter what the consequences. Mark Cuban's personality type is most closely related to the inspirational pattern. For example, Cuban was fined multiple times in the NBA for arguing with the referee's calls. He only really worries about his self-interest and tries to control others into doing what he wants. A positive and personal relationship Mark has with the general manager for the Dallas Mavericks, Donnie Nelson. They have been working side by side ever since Cuban bought the team. Donnie's personality is S for supporter and Mark is the developer. Supporter and developer are the perfect business relationship between the two because it allows Mark to take control and lead without having the support from Donnie to help him. Mark also knows that Donnie will always be there to help him in business-like situations, giving the relationship the perfect balance to be successful. For example, they have both brought success to the organization. Their win percentage, since both of them have been working together, is 66% for the Dallas Mavericks, which is a huge improvement. They have brought many key free agents to the team, which has led them to eventually winning their first NBA championship in 2011. A negative relationship Mark has with someone is Donald Trump. They are known for their Twitter rivalry. They are both very strong Ds, and they battle to retain dominance, and neither of them wants to step down, because they don't want to show weakness. Also, since Mark is a very high I, he knows how to push Donald Trump's buttons. Because he is a high D, this really irritates Donald Trump. You can even see it in the Twitter war, starting with Donald tweeting, "Why does Mark Cuban continue to embarrass the 31 and 35 and 11th place Dallas Mavericks with childish behavior? Really unprofessional." And Mark responds by tweeting back, "Donald Trump, I'm on the plane home from the Mavs win. This Twitter barrage is a blast. Are you having as much fun as I am?" Besides this dispute between Donald and Mark, they have been in other Twitter wars, and I'm sure they will continue to bicker back and forth for a long time from now.
An existential crisis that Mark Cuban has had to react to would be being terminated as a salesperson from your business software. After meeting with a client to start a new business, instead of opening the store, he started his own company, Micro Solutions. Mark Cuban did have a job that he liked. He swept the floors and opened the store in the morning, and he was excited to have a good job that could potentially become a career. Mark began expanding his client base. Clients would call him to come install software, which he got paid extra for. He was working hard and even called other companies during the day to try to obtain new businesses. One day, a prospect asked him to come in and help close a deal at 9 a.m. He said he would be there even though his boss told him to open the store that day. He had a major dilemma: either meet with the prospect or obtain potential new businesses that could result in losing his other job, or open a store to keep his job that he enjoyed immensely. Cuban decided to follow his gut and close the deal with the client. He did call his friend that worked the same store and opened for him, but when Cuban returned after he closed the deal, his boss fired him. Mark Cuban fits the hunter stereotype because he's a risk taker. He also fits the male communication stereotype because he used competitive language and direct speech.
Thank you for watching our presentation on Mark Cuban. We really enjoyed this class in psychology and ethics, and I hope you learned something about Mark Cuban's personality. He's very interesting, as you can see, very animated and determined.